Alright, what is up everybody? This is Zacharias. We are back again with more of Avadon 3, the Warborn here. So let's continue. We're still in Vanna's Reach. Here we are finding more loot right now. Haven't really run into a whole lot of stuff besides what we've already explored. Well, we found some wretches though. Man, I feel like this is like the longest introduction too. We haven't even gotten access to our second companions, our other companions quite yet. These are the remains of a crude mortuary where someone's honored dead met their final rest in stone coffins. It was abandoned many years ago, but some of the coffins remain. Someone must live here now, though. The tracks and the slime on the floor are fresh. Nathalie sniffs the air and wrinkles her nose in distaste. Vinegar, rot, a touch of fresh blood. I hope there isn't a necromancer here. It would waste our time. And something I actually debated off screen, by the way, is retraining my characters, especially with how more differently structured it. This one is compared to Avadon 2 in the first one, but I was like, nah, I'll stick with the path I'm currently on. Another amethyst. You emerge onto a swampy island in the middle of the river. There is another old graveyard here. The stones are worn, mossy, and unreadable. There is a tower on the southwest corner of the island. It's a squat, crude stone structure. It looks like an old ruin, recently restored. The work was very clumsy, as if the rocks were piled by zombies instead of proper people. Since the Walking Dead are shuffling listlessly at the base of the tower, this seems likely. Nathalie inspects the graves. Some of these were only just dug up. When a necromancer finds an abandoned graveyard, it's always a mess. Now we have to waste time cleaning it up. Well, still all in a good day's work. All around you, the dead are clawing their way out of their graves. Once, the sort of thing horrified you. Now it's all too routine. Yeah, Jeff made it to where the undead in his games are actually very manageable to beat, if not like super easy. I think only like major bosses represented very tough undead. So I have no problem clearing it out for XP. But yeah, I feel like by far this is definitely one of the longest introductions. Because we haven't even gotten access to the other companions quite yet. But we will get there because eventually we'll have to do some inventory management here. I haven't even really used my abilities yet either. I kind of will miss having my sorceress companion cast spells and stuff like that. Because Nathalie is really good, of course, at casting the battle spells. Bionic, but I do want to explore the other path of utility. But that's also why I have no problem letting her have the wands. So she has a little bit of offense. Or even scarabs, for that matter. Scarabs are quite helpful. I did, off screen, I did try retraining to see if, what was I gonna say? Leveling up one of these. Leveling up battle would it give access to these spells, but turns out it actually doesn't. So I was like, oh man, that's kind of a waste then. You know what's funny? I mean, we have done this before where we have accidentally completed an area that someone was going to give as a quest anyway, and then completed that quest immediately because we already did it. But, oh well. It is what it is. Yeah, before the game puts me in combat again, I will go ahead and make sure this stuff is sold. Ooh, I just now realized, can I put this on now? It does take me to the limit, so I might want to take off one of these. Ah. I'll put it in the thing. You finally meet the master of this little land of the dead. He is a young Kellam man. He's more healthy and muscular than you usually picture necromancers. Must be all that time spent digging up bones. Of course, he knew you were coming. He probably saw you out of the window. He is probably facing the door when you enter. Then he points at you and intones, "Halt, intruder! You have invaded the realm of Padgat. I know you are a hand of Avadon, and I do not respect your power. This is the land of the dead. The laws of the living have no place here." Botan fails to contain a snicker. He mutters, "This is far more amusing than my missions in the cave. You are a necromancer." "I am. I call forth the dead, and they serve me. They hold this, my realm, for me. I know I am violating your laws. You seek to bind me with your foolish rules. Yet, I can prove I am the true servant of the pack." "Fine, go ahead and explain." "The war rages on. The invaders are endless. Avadon is weak. No offense. The pact is tired and low on soldiers. If we are to defeat the Farlander menace, we need a new ally. Vicious, fearless, unlimited. Allow me to help you, hand. I bring to you the pact's greatest ally, the dead." Botan says, "Yes, it's a beautiful theory. It just never works out in practice. Ever." "Ah," Padgat replies, "but I am different. I have the wisdom and insight to avoid all the madness and mistakes everyone has ever made in the past." "Never mind, you should die." You charge, letting out your finest battle roar. Padgat is disappointed and insulted. He was confident in his ability to win you over with a nice bribe. And of course, he had time to summon up one ghoul before I easily dispose of him. I like to give the resistance stuff to the people who are the weakest in that regard, which would be Nathalie. And I know I put the weapons I said I was going to hang on to in my junk bag. Or I know I was going to keep it in my inventory, but I'm putting it in my junk bag anyway. And I can always just pull it out whenever I'm equipping new people. That is a good sword, but again, I'm sticking with spears. So we are just going to go ahead and sell that. But yeah, Avadon does not need necromancy to serve for them. Okay, so we found another exit. What is over in this section? Come to think of it, that might have been for a quest. But whatever. We will just, whoever does offer it, we can just easily turn it in fast. Oh snap, I didn't even see him. And we are killing these wretches like immediately. Wow, even the chief was like no match for us. Wow. Again, nothing like a good day's work of clearing out enemies like this. I mean, I haven't even given my other characters potions to hang on to, because the enemies are pretty easy to beat. Of course, I say that now, but I guarantee they're probably going to be a lot more tougher as we carry on. Okay, so alright, so we found another exit. Okay, did we explore the whole map? It looks like it. So let's just go right to where we need to go. You freeze. A flicker of light to the east alerted you that something is wrong, and your reflexes stop you. Something is on the ground. You look closer. The ground in the ravine to the east is dotted with mines. Tinker mages have spent some time making sure you stay out of the area. The mines close to you are small. The ones to the east are much larger. If you get close without finding a way to disarm them, it could be very ugly. An empty crate was abandoned by the mines. It was probably used to haul the equipment out here. Remembering what Trupo told you, you look beneath the box. A tiny lever emerges from the stone below. You flip it. The mines emit a hissing sound. The little wisps of flame cease to rise from them. For a short time, you should be able to pass them safely. Don't delay, don't delay. Get over here. You enter the hidden Camarian safe house. You expected something modest. A few beds, some boxes of food, just a place to hide when not planning how to raid the pack. The place is huge. Your enemy has been preparing it for some time. There are crates of supplies, rows of pallets, large caves suitable for hiding an ample attack force. You are lucky. Most of the chambers are still empty. Your warrior has not yet sent many warriors. Your enemy has not yet sent many warriors here. It is fortunate that you found it. Now you need to figure out what they are up to and find Gert. Alright, more armors and weapon we can sell. Okay, we can put those leather greaves on him. Another healing potion. You stumble upon a Camarian shaman. He's preparing lunch. He's stirring a stew over the fire, and an open bottle of ale rests nearby. You catch him entirely by surprise. Surrender, Farlander. This base is lost. And let you burn my soul away in the depths of the Black Fortress? We all learn that it is better to die. He reaches for a charm around his neck. It's a dried lizard claw. You are far too slow, and there's too much ground between you and him. He rips the claw from his neck and throws it to the ground. There is a flash of light and a puff of smoke. Reinforcements appear. Why does one have to be right here? Okay, whatever. I like how I got weakness curse from landing a blow on him. Okay, his wolf buddy disappears with that. Drake skin leather armor, hornet bowl. Okay. We'll just put it in there. I think maybe my shaman can use it whenever we get access to him. Okay, before we go down there, what's in this room? What is that? Oh, okay. Open this. Okay, just more loot. I'll take it. And just a reminder for people that might wonder if why I'm killing enemies so fast. It's because I do have the difficulty still on normal. It's just these enemies are meant to be not super strong yet. The floor of the hidden base is the huge magical workshop. You stare out over a forest of turrets and crystal spires. The turrets swivel back and forth, mindlessly looking for intruders. The crystal spires are more of a concern. They pulse with gentle light and project a damaging defense field around them. The field slowly flows out and back in. It might be tricky to dance around the damaging region. Botan nods and inspects the floor. I don't see any traps beyond the obvious one. The enemy has far more power here than I expected. Naphtali is impressed by the crystals. Farlanders usually don't command magic like this. This is a sign of real danger. I might have been able to disrupt these stones if Redbeard had let me study magic properly. He didn't. Never changed, Naphtali. I can still see you're quite proud. But to be fair, maybe that is a good explanation for why she's still a hand and not like an archmage yet. Ah. Freaking lab bats. Get out of here. Oh, why did I walk over there? Oh, I switched back to the spear, that's why. Oh my god, that's so stupid. I should keep ranging it until I can actually get past No, why did I walk right there? What the heck? Good lord. Alright, how many turns am I? How many of these bats are there? Oh my god. I just want the lockpick. Is that too much to ask for? No, I don't want to be in combat. Just take me out of combat right now. I just wanted to get that lockpick. You know what? I actually wonder if I should go ahead and stay in combat mode just to get rid of these. Dagnabbit. Oh, that was kind of dumb though we have to be in combat mode just to evade these better. I mean, I could just go ahead and wait until they... Wait until they go back to being small, but even then... I don't think we'll be able to get... Well, maybe we can? Okay, that was kind of tricky. Ah, that was just for loot anyway. That was kind of a waste. Dagnabbit. Alright, come on, move, move, move. The Khmer and shamans keep a pen of lizards here. Big, vicious brutes, which can be magically controlled and sent into battle when needed. Several of the beasts are in the alcove in the northwest corner of the cave. With no shamans here to direct them, they bask in the warmth of fire and chew on bones. If you get too close, however, they might not stay passive. Some enemies only fight if you attack them first or you get close for too long. I'll take the XP, I'll fight them. Get out of here, fool. You round the corner and find a meeting in progress. A large pack of your enemies face each other over a campfire. You feel very outnumbered. The fire is surrounded by a ring of Cimmerian scouts and guides. They are facing their leader, a tinker mage from the Tawan. He must be the one who made the mines at the entrance. The Tawan man is negotiating with a young Cimmerian warrior. The younger man wears silver bracelets and other signs of prestige. This must be Gert, the chieftain's lost son. Their conversation has grown heated. So much so they haven't noticed you yet. Gert says, "Linus, I did not agree to this." Linus must be the name of the Tinker Mage. He says, "Gert, you wanted to help with the war. You wanted to rid your people of the pact. This is how it is done." Gert shakes his head. "I only wanted to fight. I didn't offer my village. If you place your warriors there and Avadon finds out, they will burn Vanatok's stead down." Linus smiles. "Young Gert, you want to help us? This is how you can best help. You overestimate Avadon. If I want to stay hidden from them, there is no way they can." One of the Tawan's guards points at you. "Master, we are found." "You have been discovered. Surrender to the Black Fortress." Linus steps forward, trying to figure out what happened. "How did you get here?" "I don't... It doesn't matter. You know that we can't surrender. Prisoners of Avadon always betray their friends in the end." Gert is silent. He looks absolutely terrified. "Gert, fight with me if you want to live." He looks at you, and you see how young and inexperienced he is. He stumbles backwards, paralyzed by fear and indecision. He's not going to be helping anyone. "Die, enemies of the pact." Linus steps forward and draws his sword. "Yes, we must fight. You can't disrupt our plans." He signals with his hand, and his archers train their bows on you. Gert stumbles backwards, too scared to fight. Okay, well, at least he's not hostile. What? Is this Mortal Kombat with that get over here thing you just did? Get out of here with that. Well, you better get out of here with that. Of course he would go for Nathalie. Because she is going to be the most vulnerable. Your final blow knocks Linus to the ground. He doesn't get up. He was an agent working directly against the pact, and now he is dead. A regular soldier would get all sorts of shiny medals for the steed. You, a hand of Avadon, must be content with the mere knowledge that you have done well. There is a reward, though. When Linus falls to the ground, a thick sheaf of papers falls out of his satchel. You quickly kneel down and sweep them up. They might contain valuable intelligence. Now comes another ugly detail, dealing with Gert. Ranging. Ah, dang it. Steel razor disc, Guy Star's chainmail. It's definitely better than the one we have, that's for sure. Steel razor disc. Ooh, we will definitely equip that on him then. Gert spent the fight standing in the corner. He isn't cowering, he isn't trembling. He is young, but he is already a model of Cimmerian stoicism. May I ask, may I know who I am talking to? You say your name. Han Raylin, I am Gert. I know the ways of Avadon. I am at your mercy. I will tell you, honestly, why I am here. His resemblance to his mother is striking. He stands tall and looks you in the eye. He isn't going to beg, he is ready to accept his fate. Your mother sent me to find you. My mother is a good ruler, but she is sentimental for a Cimmerian. I'm sure she expected you to find me before the spy did. He nods towards Linus's body. I wish you had. What happened here? When in Vantok said, I've received an invitation to come here. It said that a band of Taiwan envoys were passing through. They wanted to talk to me. I thought that they would recruit me as a warrior, so I came. Instead, well, you saw how badly the meeting was going. They didn't want me. Many spies are coming here from Taiwan. They are trying to keep Cimmeria fighting the Pact. They wanted to use Vanatokstead as a base. This is major news. Avadon will want to know this, and soon. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't arrived. I suspect they may have killed me. I've seen too much. You admit you wanted to fight the Pact. Yes, I grew tired of cowering behind my mother. I want Cimmeria to be free. I will not deny it. However, I have surrendered. As terms of my surrender, I will swear to never take arms against the Pact. He looks at the carnage in the camp. I can see now, Cimmeria will not win this war. How did they contact you? An anonymous note. The only Taiwan agents I know of. You have already killed. I swear it. Do you know who Deles is? Gert is perplexed. That is a Taiwan name, yes? I have never... No. When I came to this camp, Linus was talking to his guards. I think I heard him say the name. I know nothing else about it. Why didn't you accept the offer? It could only result in its destruction by the Pact. I could not agree. My clan spent generations building my home. It was shame and wound my mother more than I could stand for me to bring destruction to it. I have not helped the Taiwan. I have not taken up arms against the Pact. I swear it. Now I have to pass judgment on you. I understand, Han Raylin. Before you do, may I say a few words? Go ahead. I will swear loyalty to you. I will go to Vanatokstead, way down by the secret. I will be true to my word. I will be much more valuable to you helping my mother help you than rotting away in some unmarked wilderness grave. Both hands look sick. When I came here, I thought I could escape this. I have ended too many young men. I would spare one of them if I could, but I am weak. I don't know what to do. Naphtali is irritated. I am so tired of ethical puzzles. Put me on a battlefield. Give me some clarity. I don't know what should be done with this child. There is a long, tense silence. The decision falls to you. You only talk to the enemy. Justice demands I spare you. Gert nods. Thank you, Han Raylin. In return, I swear on my honor that I will return to Vanatokstead and aid my mother. We will do what we can to get our people out of this foolish war. You may go. Yes, he points to the west. You can open a concealed door there. When the way is clear, I will go home. And thank you for my life. Okay, we got that taken care of. Definitely some unpleasant business, but I don't think he's worth killing, so. There is a wheel here with the chain wrapped around it. The chain feeds into a hole in the ground. You turn the wheel. It requires great effort. A section of the wall to the west slides away. You are free to escape. Before you can go, Gert slips by you. He has a bag of food looted from the camp. Thank you again for your mercy. I'm returning to my stead now. Then he is gone. Did I have any more quests here? Okay, not much. But let's head back over to Chief Tilla. You return to Chief Tilla. She is far less upset than she was when you last left her. Gert stands nearby, quiet and chastened. That explains it. I see Gert made it here safely. Chief Tilla nods. I am grateful. I have spoken to my son. He knows that if he dares tempt Avadon to destroy us again, I will make sure he pays personally. It will not happen again. She glares at Gert. He nods slightly. I found these coded papers. Can you tell me about them? She looks at the papers. This code is unknown to me. I don't even recognize the characters. I can't help you. I am sorry. Do you have more information for me? Holding back would be unwise. Now she looks scarce. Weeks of terror have eroded away most of her fabled Cimmerian bravado. If I wouldn't tell you what I know to save my son, why do you think I would hide it from you now? I have nothing more to give. I need nothing else from you. Thank you, Hand. If I have more to tell you, I will send word. Once again, you meet Gert. Chief Tilla's hot-headed son stands to the side of her throne. He is quiet, no doubt because he was clearly instructed to be so. When you greet him, he says, Greetings, Hand. I am only observing. I have nothing to say. I like to discuss the war. I'm sorry, my chief has told me to direct any questions you have to her. I am not allowed to speak for my stead. Chief Tilla says, I can help you with any questions, Hand. What are you doing? I am watching and learning. That is all. Chief Tilla adds, he is not ready to rule the stead. I'm trying to change this. Gert could not possibly look more embarrassed. Good day. Gert nods and looks down at the floor. There is no challenge in his response. He knows how lucky he is to be alive. Right, so with that in mind, let's just head back over to Camp Nightshade then. You return to Camp Nightshade only to find that it has gone insane. After months of no reinforcements or direct guidance from Avadon, it has begun to rain. New hands are running around, setting up tents and shouting orders at each other. Piles of supplies are everywhere. You stand there, stunned, unsure what is going on. Then a passing hand says to an eye, Redbeard is in the Keeper's Hall. Get him paper and pens. Redbeard? Redbeard is here? Now? You see Torch ahead on the path, struggling to carry a box of goods. Maybe he knows more. You look around the transformed camp, trying to make sense of its sudden transformation. One happily familiar face emerges from the chaos. Torch walks slowly by, gamely pushing a wheelbarrow heavy with supplies. When he sees you, he sets down his load and wipes his brow. Raylan, you are back safely. I am glad to see it. He looks back over his shoulder at the frenzied activity. Quite a change, eh? Not what we expected. Did I hear someone mention Redbeard? Yes, and with good reason. The keeper of Avadon himself is here. Redbeard has come. Redbeard is here? I'd call him keeper if I were you, but yes, he arrived yesterday, came with soldiers and supplies, and immediately took control. Commander Cerise handed over control personally. She looked sick about it, but what could she do? It's a confusing mess. He gave some orders, you should probably know about them. Where's Commander Cerise now? In her office, staying out the way. Wise if you ask me. She's like me. She's not a hand. She's just hiding from the politics. Say the wrong thing now and your head might end up on the block. Why is the mess confusing? Because Redbeard was thrown out of Avadon. The Pack's mighty ruling council threw him out on his ear and replaced him with an acting keeper. Protus is his name. Don't know anything about him. How does this affect me? Well, legally you should ignore Redbeard's orders. Do that, though, and he'll probably have you killed. Tough choice. Glad I'm not you. What are the orders? Redbeard wants all hands to report to him immediately. He wants reports, intelligence. At least, that's my guess. What should I do? No idea. I hope whatever you choose, you survive. Where is Redbeard? Porch points to the north, and the newly opened, hastily cleaned keeper's hall. I need to get back to work. The harder I labor, the less of a chance anyone asks my political views. Oh, and I have one other bit of good news. I'm sure I'll be happy to hear it. The back entrance out of the west gate, we finally cleared the rock away. Turns out the first thing Redbeard wanted was extra escape routes, so there's a faster way to get out if you want it. Good luck. Oh, and one other thing. When you've met Redbeard, if you survive, Commander Cerise did want to talk to you about something. He nods to you, hoists the handles of his wheelbarrow, and returns to work. Once Redbeard arrived at Camp Nightshade, Commander Cerise had a lot more time on her hands. Now she has plans to improve the camp's defenses, and she wants your help. You should go see her in her office sometime. Okay, we can do inventory management here later then. For now, let's just go meet Redbeard. This is the Keeper's Hall. Every Avadon outpost has one, in case the Keeper has to visit. This Keeper's Hall is, for the first time, active. Serious, dangerous guards wait outside. When you approach, they step aside. Redbeard is expecting you. You enter the Keeper's Hall for the first time. Redbeard, one of the two men competing for the title of Keeper of Avadon, is sitting at the end of a long table. The room is dimly lit, which is good. It gives you time to quietly compose yourself and control your terror. Redbeard's tendency to utterly destroy those he suspects is well known. Redbeard isn't ready for you. He is talking to two hands. You don't recognize him. They must be part of his large entourage. You quietly approach. Redbeard sits down, grabs a scroll, and crosses something off. Such an inadequate outpost. Have to make it work, he says to nobody in particular. Then he adds, without looking at you, next. You quietly approach Redbeard, Keeper of Avadon, and arguably the most terrifying person in the known lands. For 50 years, he has freely used violence and fear to keep peace in the pack. You are disappointed. Instead of a towering ogre, you find a frail old man. He is sitting hunched in his chair, squinting to read the scrolls piled in his lap. Even in the dim light, you see that his famed red hair is streaked with gray. When you get close, the Keeper of the Black Fortress still hasn't noticed you. Greetings, Keeper Redbeard. Redbeard's head snaps up. He squints at you. Ah, another hand. Yes? You have the look. Name? When he talks, his voice is deep and confident. In fact, within moments of seeing you, he begins to undergo a powerful transformation. I am Raylin. His eyes flicker down to one of his scrolls. Ah, yes. One of the few hands that hasn't reported. Good. I want to meet all hands under my command here. As he talks, he changes. He sits up straighter. His gaze is sharp. You would have sworn that his hair was tinted gray, but that must have been the trick of the light. It is the fiery red that is his most noted quality. There is a long pause while he consults his record. As he reads, you find yourself feeling very anxious. This is the Redbeard you have heard stories of, the bloody scourge of the Pact. You have been to Cameria. I am very interested in what you have learned. Do you have a report? We better not try to argue at this point. I do have a report for you. Excellent. The other hands have been painfully unproductive. I hope you can give me good news. First, however, you and I need to have a brief conversation. A few minor chain of command issues need to be clarified. He says this in a casual, offhand way, but the intent way he watches you instantly puts you on your guard. Yes? I am the keeper of the Black Fortress. I have been so since long before you were born. It is a lifetime appointment. For centuries, the law of the Pact was that only my death could remove me from my post. Hanvar's council recently illegally removed me from my post. I was replaced by acting keeper Protus. Have you heard of this? I heard a few things, yes. I would have expected no less. In fact, the denial of this basic fact would be very suspicious. So far, I find you adequate. I have a question for you. What is it? He rises from his throne. Any traces of weakness or age are gone. Power radiates off of him. He calmly rests his hand on the pommel of his greatsword. I am Redbeard. I am the true keeper of Avadon, according to our laws. More importantly, I am your commander. Raylan, you and I are going to do great things. We are going to end this bloody war and save the Pact. First, however, I need to know that your loyalties are not divided. I ask you, will you follow my orders without question? Will you fight and risk all to serve Avadon and the Pact under my instruction? You are here and Protus is not. I will follow you. Redbeard chuckles. I admire your honesty and sense of humor. Just be warned, more often than not, I end up having to send people with those qualities to the Avadon dungeons. He sits back down. I have heard what I needed to hear. Now to business. Redbeard now likes you more. Answers to your questions will sometimes affect what characters think of you and how they treat you. Business? I am sure there is much you wish to know. I am sure you want to fight for the Pact. I am very sure you want to end this miserable war. The Farlands will be crushed. So will all rebels. So will all fomenters of civil war. You are lucky, Raylan. You are here at a glorious time. Working together, we will save the Pact. So let us speak. I understand that Cerise sent you out to gather information. I want to know what you have learned. I want to know more about the war. You are reasonable. There are currently 4 major fronts of the war. Cameria, the Wild Realm Rebellion to the south, the Warborn of the southeast, the armies of the Taiwan Empire to the east. As a hand, you should know of all of them. I'd like to know more about Cameria. There are books scattered around this fort. If you read them, you will learn much about the current situation. However, I can spare time to discuss some details. Cameria is one of the Farlands. Once, it was united with the Wild Realm. Then they split apart and took very different paths. Why did Cameria and the Wild Realm split apart? Centuries ago, they came into contact with the states to the east. Daram, Taiwan, and Kalimdario have a great faith in technology, stone buildings, and massive cities. The Wild Realm stuck to their traditional ways, placing faith in clans, nature, and powerful magic. Camarians even envied those to the east. They turned from their shamans to stone and steel. Why is Cameria a Farland? When the Camarians began to make their own fortresses, smithies, and cities, they took the natural next step in this advancement. They tried to form an empire. They chose to attack the Wild Realm and the Hochlandans. The leaders of their steads became bloody and cruel. They were too violent and greedy to be trusted as a member of the Pact. Are they that way now? It doesn't matter. Open arms within, the stone wall beyond. They made their choice when the Pact was formed. They are close to us now. Might they ever stop being a Farland? No, the Pact can barely stay together as it is. We can't afford to introduce confusion. Who should be part of us? Who shouldn't? It is too much. Cameria was excluded, and excluded it must remain. Redbeard watches you silently, waiting to hear what you have to say. His piercing gaze leaves you feeling constantly off guard, as if you should be confessing to something. You feel like generations of hands before you, you very worried about the consequences of wasting Redbeard's time. Can I know more about you? What is it about hands? He lets out a long sigh. You always want to know more about me. Understand me. Is it curiosity? A crude attempt to gain favor? I will tell you all you need to know about me. Yes? I am no longer human. I am nothing but a force. I am vengeance personified. I am a tool of the pack, nothing else. Now let's discuss something significant. Time is short. I want to learn about Avadon. You have never been there, yes? You nod. I can tell. Had you seen the place, its grandeur, you could never say the word Avadon without a tinge of awe. Even I still feel it. What is Avadon? It is a tower, an impregnable fortress. It is also an enforcer. It watches the pack from above, looks for threats to safety and unity, and destroys them. We live in a hole in the law. We make our own law for a greater good. How was Avadon when you were driven out? It was weak. It was a shell. Traitors and the agents of Deless attacked us. Much of the Black Fortress was reduced to rubble. Then Hanvar's council, jealous of my power, withheld the resources we needed to rebuild. Then they blamed me for being unable to solve the problems they kept me from solving and threw me out. He sighed. I hate politicians. How is Avadon doing now? I don't know. I have not been there in well over a year. I'm sure it is crumbling. The only reason the leaders of the pack put that lickspittle Protus in charge was so that my mighty fortress could be allowed to decay. Tell me more about Protus. I made him a heart, a direct advisor to me. He was weak, but not foolish. He served well. I don't think he planned to betray me until Hanvar's council tempted him with my position. He did betray me in the end, but I spared his life. Avadon does need a keeper, after all. I gave him one of my necklaces of office to show that he should be obeyed until my return. That's all I need. Then back to the struggle, Raylan. We have hope of ending this war. Do not waste it. Okay, I only did that for because I needed to save the game right here. But I will see you all soon with the next part.